I know from Vic the first season was awesome because you didn't actually see what was happening until you were in the booth, right?
Right.
Which was a great way to go about it. Me, I was completely opposite. I got every single subtitled episode as soon as I could get my sweaty little hands on it. When I first heard Ready, Steady, Go, being a Dragon Ball Z fan, I was like, we have a cool opening song! And I must have played it a million times. So yes.
There were a lot of great openings and closings. There were a lot of great songs from Full Metal. Absolutely.
You know, Mushishi has a really good opening song too.
Oh yeah, the barefoot song.
Yeah. That acoustic thing going, that is tight. If you don't watch Mushishi, at least look up the song. It's worth doing.
I think it's just called the barefoot song.
Yeah, it is. It like tells you who the artist is too, but I don't remember that. Yeah, just look up Barefoot song Mushishi. Do it.
Just from Full Metal and the whole realm of Full Metal, I don't honestly know all of those openings from Brotherhood because there were a lot. But Travis mentioned Ready, Steady, Go. I really liked Melissa.
Yeah.
I'm like, Kimi no Tere, that one. Love that song. Yeah.
Don't you know the whole thing?
I used to. I used to. I know Winry's closing in Japanese, but I don't know that. I used to know Melissa.
I think that was the first one I ever heard, Melissa. I'm like, I love this.
Yeah,
it's really kind of catchy.
That was the first opening in Japanese, and then the second opening was Ready, Steady, Go, and they were making a big release in the US of their album. So they took that song and made it the opening song, like from the beginning, to support their album.
Cool. Yeah, well, I can seal, right?
Yeah.
Awesome. Behind, there you go, yes. Yes.
Oh yeah, well I already asked.
Wait a minute. Behind you, I'm so sorry. Yeah, they were kind of in a line. Your hand was up first. Yes.
Are you guys ever influenced by the Japanese version? I know some of the jokes, maybe they wouldn't translate in like an American version.
That's a great question. Are we ever influenced? Do you mean like performance-wise?
Yes.
Sure, sometimes, yeah. We listen to the Japanese version of a line before we do it. And, pardon me? Okay. We listen to the Japanese original first, and a lot of times, the intent, give us some kind of an idea of the intent of the line. But occasionally, I think it's fair to say that we kind of take it in a different direction ourselves because we kind of, have a different idea on it, have a different take on it, or the director may have a differerent take on it. But yeah, we certainly, that's one of the several elements that we pull from in the performance that we give. Aaron mentioned looking at a character. Certainly watching a character visually will give you an indication a lot of times of how you want to deliver a line, and then the original Japanese, and then the director's input, your own input, and you kind of mix them all together and come up with something.
He nailed it.
Over here in the red shirt and the mustache. Huh?
We're in a valley?
Yes, this is the valley.
Yeah, no, I've heard a lot of people call it the valley, but I haven't, I can't tell it's a valley. It's not like we're surrounded by mountains that I can see from, looking outdoors, but it's cool here. It's very pretty, directly out there as well. And all the trees, one of my favorite things, walking around there, all the trees are covered in hearts with people's names on them.
Hippies.
Call me out.
They have racing, they have go-karts, don't they?
Yeah.
I saw go-karts when we were flying in. I was like, where is that?
Land now!
I know. Open the door! Wait! Okay.
That'd be awesome.
Now, I like it, but what I like the most are the people. You guys are really, really nice bunch of folks.
Where's Jesus?
Yeah, you know what the truth is, and I don't know if you guys feel the same way. I would assume you do. We do a lot of events. And after a while, a hotel is a hotel is a hotel is a hotel. You know what I mean? And a city is a city is a city is a city. It's the people that we get to interact with that make each experience special and unique. So you guys are what makes the Valley cool. It's not just, oh, it's kind of a nice area, but getting a chance to meet you guys and interact with you is what makes it special.
Yeah.
And the Mexican food is really good.
Yeah, and the Genghis Grill. I've already been to Genghis Grill twice in 2 days.
But you could go there anywhere.
I will too.
Do you not have those in Los
I'll
Angeles?
do it. No, I don't think so. No. You guys, if you have not been to Genghis Grill, it's like right down 83. It's amazing. Yes? It's amazing. It's really awesome good. I love it. I love it, Lars. There was one near Funimation, and I used to go there almost every day for lunch for a long time when I would record up there. And then they put one in Houston, and now they're in the Valley. So you guys should check it out too.
I just picked, so I think it's your turn.
On the aisle, right here with your hand. No, you looked back. Yeah, you.
Have you guys, any of you guys ever met your Japanese voice actors?
This guy. He's the only one that.
You know what? It's funny that like Ed is like one of the favorite roles that I've done, and I've only met 2 voice actors who voiced the same characters that I did. One was Ikaku from Bleach. I was at a couple of conventions, and he showed up like at 2 or 3 in a row, and he's a really cool guy, and we would yell "bankai" at each other all the time. Really funny. He'd be on the other side of the, like he'd be like as far as I am from the back wall, and he'd be walking the other direction, and I'd be going this way, and I'd hear him go, "Bankai!" and I'd look up and go, "Bankai!" But one of my most wonderful experiences was meeting Romy Park, who played Ed in the original Full Metal. She's like this adorable, she's so tiny, but she's like one of the top voice actors over there. She's like one of the biggest seiyuu, she's in everything. And I got to go to Tokyo a few years ago, and one of the only things that I wanted to do, I wanted to sit in on a recording session so that I could see the way they did it over there, because it's very different from the way we do it. And then I wanted to meet Romy. And Square Enix set up dinner with Romy and Mizushima, the director of Full Metal, and we sat there across the table and just went. and we would, we each had a translator, but we never took our eyes off each other. So she would say something looking right at me, and I would look at her like, I know what she's saying. I have no idea what she's saying. And then the translator would translate, but we wouldn't even look at him, I'd just look at her. And then when he translated, I'd be like, oh, well, it's such and such, such and such, and I would answer her, and my translator would translate for her. But we just hit it off. And she's the sweetest girl. And she, at the very end of the night, she was like, I want to come to a convention with you. I'm like, yeah, let's totally make that happen. So we're still looking forward to that happening someday.
Woo! Do it.
I picked last time. Somebody else picked.
Right there.
What is the funniest story you had from when you were in the booth recording something?
Are you like setting me up right now? Go ahead, guys.
I like Aaron's story.
Yes, in true Olympic Games form, Aaron wins the gold medal of funny stories in the booth. Go ahead, Aaron, tell him.
I have not.
Who's heard the booth story? I did. See, they've all heard it. Did you see it? It's a sea of heads.
Nice high hands of who has not heard the booth story.
Yeah.
Thank you, Aaron.
That's the majority.
Alrighty.
Do we have popcorn? Hello.
Okay, so, God, it's just, I've told this so many times, I don't remember this actually happening anymore. I remember telling it hundreds of times. And I have Mike McFarlane to confirm that it actually happened. Because this was 6 or 7 years ago. Anyway, so 6 or 7 years ago, I'm 12 years old, I'm voicing Alf, so that means it's my first big part, and it's really my first job where I have to, sit in the same spot for 6 hours. And now I stand when I voice act, but back then I had no qualms about looking lazy or whatever, so I would sit, and we have a 3-beep system for when we voice act, which is as the videos go and you hear a beep, 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 and then 4th imaginary beep, you say your line, right? So what I would do is I would be leaning back in the stool and I'd be like, as
Much
far
like he's doing
back
right
as possible.
now. Much like he's doing now.
Beep, beep. Line, like, well, 3 beeps and then the line. So I would like go up really fast to say my line and then I'd, lean back down, right? Well, this one time, that didn't work out so well for me. Second beep, I try to lean up forward, and instead the stool slides out on me, and so I get wedged between the wall of the sound booth that I'm in and my chair, sort of something like this, but a little more extreme. Like my knees are in my face, basically, and I actually could not get out of that position on my own. So what I like is think of this from Mike McFarlane's perspective. The director, he's outside of the booth, and so he hears the 3 beeps just like I do, and then he hears and then he can't see anything through the window that he's looking at. So he's probably like, Aaron, and then the line, I go, help me. Like a 5-second awkward pause of me trying to silently get out of that with my dignity. Yep.
Nothing beats that story. I mean, we can't. There's nothing.
I tell Aaron's story because that's the best story. That's the best. Help me!
That's the killer. That's the best part.
I'm stuck.
I would love to know what my line was supposed to be when that happened. I should have tried to
I'm
do
gonna
the
lay
line
odds
back
50
there.
to 1 that your line was, brother!
Those are some good odds.
When in doubt, Aaron, if you didn't remember his line, you just go, brother! That was right. It's so true. I memorized his line.
Awesome. In the very back with some kind of animal on your head or a weird hat or something.
It's pink.
If you all happen to be in a band together, what would you say?
If we all happen, this is a good question. If we all happen to be in a band together, what would our band's name be?
Baguku Mamas.
What?
That's their food.
You're out of the band, Aaron.
Aaron's our roadie. He's not actually in the band. He just carries the band's stuff around.
Yeah.
Bogaku, brother. No, what would it be?
I don't know, the Beaverettes?